Good morning, everybody. Lone Wolf Rick here, 8 a.m. on this Memorial Day Monday here on the Las Vegas Strip. Currently 77 degrees here in Las Vegas. Looking for a high about 95 today. So it stayed pretty consistent all weekend. Great pool weather if that's your thing. And we're looking westbound here on Tropicana. Take a look at that road construction as it slowly makes its way back down towards here. The widening of Tropicana up here. Still got a long ways to go. It's like, they've got, they're working on that over in the north side there. And, but they still got this whole south side to do. And so they'll do that off ramp and stuff also. So a lot of work left to do here. And, but it's not scheduled to be done till next year. So take a look at everything else around here. I went and scoured the internet this morning looking for all the things that would have happened here on Memorial Weekend here in Las Vegas, but I think it was pretty mellow. I didn't see any bad news, not yet anyway, of anything that happened here. So I think it was a pretty mellow weekend. But if something breaks out, or news here in Vegas, it's like moves pretty slow. It's like you could have an incident that happens, and you'll read about it, like a week later or a few days later. Well, let's say this happened on, say, Saturday evening. It'll be Wednesday when they're reporting it. So you just never know. But I know, while Sunday here is a pretty big checkout day, even during a 3-day holiday, people driving, especially the Southern California people, drive back to California, number one, to try to beat a lot of the traffic, which they just create more traffic. But I think a lot of people now, it's like, if they don't go back on Sunday, so if they're off on Monday, they get that extra day of rest before have to go back to work. But yesterday, the casino seemed it was pretty busy, so that was kind of good to see. I did see one thing on the internet where they were talking about Resorts World, and Resorts World, it's like on Friday, issued their first quarter report. Since they're a public traded company, and their first quarter earnings was $218 million. Which they said was down from the fourth quarter of last year, where they did $227 million. So roughly about the same, but it was down. And but one thing that I saw interesting, it's like on their report, was 75% of all their revenue is from the non-gaming departments, whether that be hotel rooms, restaurants, convention services, the like 75%. And as the kids say, back in the day, that would have been unheard of. You know what I mean? Only 25% of the revenue of that property is generated from the casino. So I'm wondering if there's ever a time when there's a true implosion here in Las Vegas, where they can't fill the hotel rooms. Another, dare I say, pandemic, which hopefully never happens again, at least in my lifetime, but I'm sure it will. But what will that property do? if 75% of their revenue is coming from non-gaming stuff, and he said it's like they were going to focus more on their convention services, you know, which is pretty interesting to me. It's like focusing on the convention services. Because I think it's like, you know, when the Fontainebleau it's like opens up, yeah, they're going to have pretty big meeting rooms, convention areas also, and that's going to be direct competition with them. It's like with both properties very close to the convention center. So interesting times ahead, I think, for that property, maybe. See that? Southwest Airlines jet taking off from the airport over there. So what did everybody do over the holiday weekend? Hopefully the weather was nice wherever you were at. And hopefully if you did nothing, you just got some much needed rest. I was looking to, to be honest with you, it's like I was looking to perhaps next weekend, it's like for one day, it's like going to Phoenix. There was a comic book convention in Phoenix next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I was going to go down just for a day. I actually looked at this a couple of weeks ago, so it wasn't just a kind of a spur of the moment thing, but it's like I looked at it a couple of weeks ago. I was going to fly down in the morning, going to take an early morning flight from Vegas to Phoenix, which is what, about an hour flight, a little over an hour perhaps. And then yeah, that evening just fly back. I said, you know what, I haven't done that in years. I said, well, maybe that'll be a nice little, nice something, go to that convention, you know, have a good time, maybe pick up some stuff or whatever, some comic books. The air flight, the cheapest air flight, it's like from Vegas to here for like a one-day round trip, was like $250 from here to Phoenix. I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, there are, well, especially Southwest Airlines, it's like, you know, they're based out of Phoenix, so, you know, and it's in Vegas, it's like one of their main hubs, and they were the most expensive. You know, I could fly for $250. It's like I could fly cross country. And like I said, it wasn't excuse me, it wasn't like spur of the moment, you know, just kind of going out. It's like, you know, the thing, it's like last minute, like check the flights. Like I said, it was a couple of weeks ago, so I was like a good, I don't know, 3.5 weeks out basically. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to Phoenix. You know, like I said, I just wanted to do a day trip, so it wouldn't be worth driving down. I did see a kind of a little like blurb article. It's like on the Super Train, or that, you know, that bullet train, the fast train that's supposed to go between Southern California and Vegas. Actually, that's supposed to, it will, because they've got the approvals and everything. They're going to start construction here a little later on this year. And the pricing that's like on it, I remember I said it's like, you know, hey, well, they're going to have to compete with the airlines. But man, if the airline prices are going to go up, it's like, I'm sure it's like that's a good news for the bullet train, even though it's like they're not planning on going until 2027 or 2025, somewhere in there. It's like, you know, the thing, it's like whenever they get it all built. But they were looking at $100 one way. So you're looking from Southern California to Vegas at $200 round trip. So it'll be interesting to see, it's like how that will compete with the airlines once they get open.
You should have went that way. It's everything.
Just a really nice morning this morning. I did see a, actually yesterday when I was walking around, you know, and I think I was cutting through where I normally cut through up here, you know, those shops at Crystals where I like walk through and from one way to the other, northbound or southbound. But I saw where that Starbucks in there, I used to have a Starbucks inside the shops at Crystals, that mall, was closed up. They had closed down. Which is the second one in that general area. Over the last few years, it closed down. You know, there was one, it's like by the CVS store in front of the Waldorf Astoria. It had closed down. And so now it's like, you know, with that one closed up, it'll be interesting. I don't know if that's if they just built too many of them, you know, there's too many in just a general vicinity, or, you know, it's like, I'm sure it's like, you know, they have a pretty big volume they have to meet. But, you know, when you start seeing Starbucks close down, and you start reading on the internet with all the Walmarts, it's like they're starting to close down. It's like, you know, a lot of their stores. Seems like interesting times, huh? There's no line over here at Denny's. Something's wrong. The last couple 3 days, it's like there's been like big groups of people lines here at this Denny's out here, just like the olden days. Today these stores open. They open at 8 o'clock. All right, everybody, I think that's going to do it for this video. Please hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate that. And helps keeps our videos visible, hopefully anyway. And I'm just going to walk around here a little bit today and just enjoy a nice holiday. All right, everybody, take care of yourselves, okay? Stay healthy. Get busy living, get busy dying. As a line from the Shawshank Redemption goes. I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.